There are numerous theories surrounding Beyoncé and Jay-Z. One of the craziest is the idea of the rapper being a time-traveling vampire. The concept surfaced after a 1933 photo taken in Harlem found its way to the internet, with one man looking an awful lot like Jay-Z. The rapper wasn't born until December 1969, so clearly the only excuse is that he's a time-traveling vampire.
Anyone who is not entirely familiar, or still ignores the existence of a shadow government that controls the planet through ancient bloodlines and various secret societies, will either think that their uncanny resemblance is nothing but a coincidence.
It was discovered that Daniel Radcliffe had lived a former life as his grandmother. He was also spotted masquerading as a soldier at a gig in Manchester in the 1940s. He was also seen posing as a sex worker in the 1800s.
I'm the man exposing the truth about John Lennon's murder. Stephen King, KCK resident, shot John Lennon.
This theory surfaces from Steve Lightfoot, who believed horror writer Stephen King was the one to murder John Lennon. His claims come from a photo of Lennon taken the day of the murder, where he's signing an autograph for Mark Chapman, who was convicted for Lennon's murder. Lightfoot believes the man in the photo looks more like King.
This theory raises far more questions than it could ever answer. What was Stephen King's motive? Why'd the other guy take the fall? And why would the US government enlist an independently wealthy author to assassinate a world-renowned musician?
Look at this. This is a guy finds this picture. This is for a Civil War, roughly 1860s, and a guy says that it likely is you.
Right. Well, let me say that there is a resemblance, but how can I be polite about this? It's a somewhat slowed down version of me.
The guy's theory is that you look exactly the same now, and therefore that makes you a vampire.
Right.
That's the theory.
Yeah,
that's
except there's a photograph of me, and you can't take pictures.
This is you from Moonstruck.
I don't drink blood, and last time I looked in the mirror, I have a reflection, so I'm not going with his vampire theory.
Hey everyone, Truth News here. And so I have been researching this topic that Taylor Swift is the clone of Zena LaVey, the daughter of Anton LaVey, a known Satanist and the founder of the Church of Satan. At first I found this kind of silly, but of course when I researched into this topic, I kind of grown suspicions. Now, one of the main evidence that Taylor Swift and Zena LaVey might be a clone of Zena LaVey is that they look strikingly similar. I mean, you would have to be blind not to see their similarities. Mainly, Taylor Swift's whole career is based off rebellion, which is what the Church of Satan teaches. So if they can clone sheeps, imagine what they can do with humans.
According to this theory, Travolta died in 1991 and was swapped out with German singer Roy Black. Although Black died from heart failure on October 9th, 1991, his passing resemblance to Travolta has led some to believe that he faked his death and took the actor's place. Of course, it's unclear how Travolta would have died or why Black replaced him.
My model of business is the Beatles. You know, they were four very talented guys who kept each other's kind of negative tendencies in check.
All I want is the truth. Just give me some truth.
Could Katy Perry actually be JonBenet Ramsey? That's the bizarre conspiracy theory floating around the internet after this 2014 video resurfaced online.
And telling you again that JonBenet Ramsey is in fact all grown up as Katy Perry, same person you saw yesterday. Fact. JonBenet Ramsey did not die. Nobody died, nobody got hurt. That sacrifice was an in name only. And that sacrifice was to get something, and that something was to become a star. JonBenet Ramsey became Katy Perry. That's a fact. Looking easily through, you can see the so-called parents of the Katy Perry character are in fact the same too as the JonBenet. He shaved his head, she lost some weight.
The problem is there are a lot of holes in this story, namely the fact that Katy is 31 while JonBenet would only be 25 if she were still alive, and there's a record/photos of Katy as a child.
The gist of the theory is that after an argument during a Beatles recording session on November 9th, 1966, Paul McCartney sped off in his car only to be decapitated in an auto accident when he lost control of his vehicle. The UK security service MI5 advised the band to find a replacement, for they feared that if the news of Paul's death got out, mass hysteria would spread among Beatles fans, leading to civil unrest and possible mass suicide. The band held a Paul McCartney lookalike contest, and the winner was a Scottish orphan named William Shears Campbell, otherwise known as Billy Shears. After undergoing some minor plastic surgery, the Beatles taught him how to sing, act, and play music just like Paul. Luckily for Billy, his job was made easier by the fact that the Beatles recently retired from touring, and they were all set to don a new look for their upcoming album, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
You can notice how they're each carrying a brass instrument, except for Paul, who is carrying a black clarinet. Is this a coincidence, or does the black clarinet refer to the rumor that he died in 1966? Paul is wearing a badge on his shoulder that reads OPD. In Britain, this means officially pronounced dead.
And express also our great happiness that we have been able to have this affair with Princess Diane, here on her first trip to the United States. Have this affair with Princess Diane.
Hey guys, today I'm going to show you that Princess Diana is actually alive and well, living happily ever after as Elton John's boyfriend. Okay, so she did not die. That was all fake. She is David Furnish, and I do believe that this is indeed the same person. So here's two photos here, and I'm going to overlay them. Okay, and we're going to see what happens. There it is. Same face. Look at the mouth, the eyes, everything matches perfectly. Okay, you think they would have done more surgery, really? I mean, you know, how hard was it for me to do this? Anyone could do this online. Mrs. Di's funeral was on TV forever, even in America, you know, where we really don't have much interest in the royal family. It was on TV, it was a big deal. Elton John was singing Candle in the Wind. Meanwhile, the whole thing was a farce. Meanwhile, later that night, he was sleeping with Princess Diana, who was now reverted back to a man somehow. You know, it's just, you can't make this stuff up.
But you know, there's something about this stance here that reminds me of Lady Di. And this same twist in the body, the look of the neck, the whole bottom of the face. I'm really not liking what's going on here. Look at this one. Look at this one for the Diana look. Oh, that's, all of them seem to have one of the memes of the Diana look too, you know. There's certain the twisted neck, the I'm looking at you with a forehead look. That's what that one is. Look at that. I can just see it there, that the way the eyes are looking at me. I just can see Lady Di looking at me. Okay, I'm mad, I'm crazy, but I tell you what, that's what I'm seeing. Somebody can correct me and say I'm crazy. Well, that's what you can say, but I tell you, it just smells. It just, there's something smells here.